Rolling na.
The question is, you said top 3 reasons why taxpayers do not pay the right taxes. Nasa last part na po kayo.
Oh, yeah. So yung compare, compare. Sabi ko nga, if everybody's doing it, so kino-compare yun ng company na. So, kung merong nagta-tax avoidance, so why not? I can do it as well.
Have you worked with companies or with clients na that ask you to not pay the right taxes?
Yes.
What
And
happened?
I resigned.
Why?
Because to me, being an accountant, you need to have integrity, you need to be trustworthy, and you need to be resilient. So when you say integrity, you need to be firm with what you believe in. And my advocacy is really to pay the right tax.
What would you do if your integrity is tested by being offered a higher salary in exchange of manipulating or reducing your client's taxes?
I won't accept it. Money, you can earn it. Integrity, you cannot. The moment you lose your integrity, that's who you lose yourself. So to me, it's a
What is the most difficult situation that you have encountered with your clients with regards to taxes?
access. So when one of the company asked me tax reduction, and the worst thing is that they asked me to prepare 2 books. One is for internal, where we can see we're still earning, and then the other one is for BIR or tax purposes. It's so obvious. It's to me parang sobrang ang dali siyang i-trace na you are evading, and that's the worst to me. I cannot tolerate that.
What happened?
Yun nga, I resigned after.
You
So
resigned
when I asked me, I resigned.
Ano
Kahit wala pa akong kapalit ng work.
Ano sinabi sa'yo nung the people that you worked with?
Work with, of course, they try to influence me. They try to convince me na everybody's doing it. Why not do it as well? They also asked me na, ano naman yan, di ba? You just pay the BAR and everything will be okay, ganyan. Or under the table, okay na yan, ganyan. Sabi ko, it's beyond the government, it's beyond the paying the right taxes, but your accountability with yourself and with your integrity, your accountability with your creator. That's the ultimate
How would you rate the taxation in the Philippines?
Right now, I'd say it's too complex, and it's one of the highest. One of the highest. Kasi nga I worked for a multinational company before, and I got to compare. When I compared, the taxes, we're one of the highest in the Asia. We're actually at par with Japan, but we cannot compare with Japan. Japan is Japan. They are first class in terms of the taxation or anything. So siguro it's too high. Being in the third world, it's too high. Kasi even saan nga ba yan? Even Thailand, Indonesia, they're lower. They're lower than us. But they're now on the right track kasi meron tayong yung trabaho, di ba? Trabaho, ano nga ba meaning trabaho? Tax reform for attracting better and higher quality opportunities. So every eventually yung 30% natin bababa sa 20% by 2029. Yun yung nasa Congress pa. Pero at least they are recognizing, the government is recognizing that we need to really, not necessarily lessen, but to make it comparable with the rest of the Asian countries pagdating sa taxes.
May ginagawa ba yung the BIR na like programs in improving the taxes in the Philippines?
One of their program is to make all large taxpayers online. So meaning it should be a computerized accounting system, and they will link it up with their system. In other countries, that's being done. So yung mga first world, talagang nagagawa na yan, naka-online. Kasi that will make the assessment a lot efficient. Kasi pagka i-audit mo, you just need to check, and naka-link na siya. So wala na yung mga tax reduction, wala na yung mga tax evasion that can easily be caught dun sa ano na yun. Siguro lang ako, my suggestion, and additional for the BIR is if they can accredit mga IT companies. Kasi the process of accrediting accounting system, computerized accounting system per company, nangyari, you need to hire someone to program or to develop an accounting system for you, or you need to hire a third-party service provider to develop a program for you. And after that, work through mo sa mga BIR personnel. And that's where being subjective happens. Kasi depending on the BIR officer, on how they view the process, naging subjective siya kung pwede na yan or hindi. But if in case you accredit an IT system or an IT company na ito yung magpo-program sa'yo, isa lang siya across all the companies. So meaning, pag na-accredit mo na yun yung accounting system gagamitin mo, sila yung gumawa, sila yung nag-process nun, sila yung same process flow or relatively similar across. You don't need yung mga personnel from the BIR to review every time na meron bagong software accounting. Diba? So hindi na siya subjective. At least objectively, you've done your part at the front end, accrediting the IT system company. Rather than doing it on the tail end, na i-accredit mo yung mismo computerized accounting system after being reviewed by a BIR person.
So aside from this is what you think na like the BIR can help the country in improving the taxes.
So saan naman that's one. That's one yung sa process. But I would say there are 3 P's na kailangan nila to gain back the trust. No? So number 1 is people. So kahit na ilang beses tayo magpalit ng commissioner, kahit ilang beses tayo magpalit ng presidente, or even how often we'll reorganize the BIR, you cannot gain back the trust unless you put the structure. Kasi minsan deeply rooted na yung mga personnel, di ba? So unless you made the change doon sa whole structure, that's the only time you can gain back the trust. Di ba? That's number 1. It's really about the people. So you put in people that are really trustworthy. Yung nakikita mo na kung may kapitbahay kang BIR personnel, nakita mo same level of or same lifestyle that you have as an employee. Kasi minsan nangyayari, pagka nakita mo BIR personnel, nakita mo na anak ng bahay, anak ng kotse. So you need someone talaga na magkaroon ng parang they need to display an image that they are trustworthy. And new people. Second one is the process. So that's why I mentioned about having to accredit an IT company that will develop accounting system for the companies para hindi na siya subjective sa review. In that aspect as well, they need to review yung sa mga withholding taxes. Kasi right now, like for example, if you buy goods, you need to withhold 1%. But if you buy service, you need to withhold 2%. So what's the difference? Why? Diba? So bakit hindi nila isahin? Minsan, dyan nagkakaroon ng mga room for different interpretations. So why not make it simpler? Why not make it, very conducive to everyone? Madali siya maintindihan. Kasi sometimes the VIR are too technical as well. Too technical. Although siguro it's an inherent part of their responsibilities, but at least make it more simpler and conducive for the taxpayer to understand, to easily understand. So make a tax table na madali siyang i-follow, na hindi na yung, although they are starting now, like for example our salaries, diba? Unlike before, may ganito ka, pagka single ka, 5,000, pag ganito, diba? May different sets of deduction, but now it's just one. So across, ito na yung tax table na. So they're starting to recognize that, but I believe we're still too far off. And then the last one is really yung policies, yung policies around sa mga taxes, sa mga tax table. So they need to really make a way na readable siya, mabilis, and mabilis na ma-implement ng taxpayers.
What do you think are the 3 values that an accountant should have?
So, ako mahilig ako sa acronym. So, ITR. So, integrity, and trustworthiness, and resiliency. So, as I mentioned, integrity is number 1. So,